Right then, how are we all doing? Everyone hear me all right? Hello, Camille. Right. So, oh, look at this. The man himself seems to have some kind of Fletcher crossbow score. How's his runner game? Let's have a quick look before we kick things off. Camille. No. Camille. No. I'll keep it on the Fletcher screen on crossbow for you, Camille. There you go. Yeah. So, let us begin. Hey there, Silver-Tongued Devil here, and today is Sigils Saturday. So, what I have planned is to just go through the basics of the different sigils to give you guys some pointers and some bits and pieces to start off with. And yeah, and we'll go from there. Excellent. Hello, Dave. Hello, Camille. Let me just sort my phone life out. And hello, Bargain Bin. Right, let me get that on charge. There we go. Ideal. The things we do to stream. Right. So, little bit of housekeeping. Now, as you guys may or may not be aware, oh, that isn't doing very well. Amulets are something we need to. I know. I jest, of course, Camille. So sigils is something that I want to have a take a look at with you guys first. So runner, what is the best sigil for runner? So I would say myself, Blessed Quiver, because though if you get that arrow, those extra arrows in that slot could be the difference between you having enough shots to get to the next quiver or not. You don't need more life and speed. You don't need more life and speed. Spiritual assistance, I know there's people that struggle with getting full draw on the bow. So that one is one that you may have to use. If you don't have to use it, then you need to get off of it. That one's mainly for Sean. I'm sure he'll be appreciative of that. The other one that might be worth taking a look at, obviously Anakim's Flaw. We ain't fighting bosses in runners, so you don't need Anakim's Flaw. Wealth Privilege. Now, as I've always said in speed stuff, you shouldn't be visiting the shop, so you don't need to worry about gold. However, there are some runs where I've done a little bit better than I could have by being able to dive into the shop and grab a quiver. But the thing is, you won't get your best times if you have to visit your shop. You'll get the best times if you can live off the land or thrive off the land, so to speak. Hello, Fee. As far as Fletcher's concerned, this one, not so much a no-brainer, I don't think. Again, spiritual assistance for the reasons that I just said. Don't need wealth privilege, so that's off the cards completely. Anakin's Blessed Quiver is off the cards. The only ones that are really useful for Fletcher are resistance privilege, Anakin's Flaw, and unusual fortitude. I would again wipe unusual fortitude from that list because although it's nice to have the armor, we're going to be doing healing. It would be nice to have that armor at, say, cycle 5+ where you're taking multiple hits and they count, but I would much rather have the extra slot. Oh, sorry, other way around. Unusual fortitude for the extra health. I said it right. I got the wrong ones, wrong colors. This one should be red. We want the additional, either the additional health, because more slots of health that we can hold means that we can hold more blood. And in Fletcher, you can heal. As far as Anakims are concerned, that's the other one. Because we should be able to do a hell of a lot of damage to Anakim with all of these special arrows that you're able to rattle out. So I would have personally said Unusual Fortitude would be the one to go for. Yes. And as far as Purist is concerned, again, it's not going to let me have a look because I've got one going. It's not even one going. I'll talk about it whilst I just sort this out. Yes, yeah, there is that, Camille. You're quite right, but that's for the likes of us that are going for like top slots and going for score. What we're going to be looking at today is just the basics and some pointers. But no, you're quite right. You would make the move to that. I'm just going to get rid of this, so this is out of the way. As far as Purist is concerned, again, I was thinking about this. So, Purist, Blessed Quiver, nope, no use. We're not getting any arrows, doesn't matter. Wealth Privilege, nope, we can't buy arrows, doesn't matter. Spiritual Assistance, good on the bow for the reasons I mentioned before. Also, if nobody takes Spiritual Assistance on crossbow, obviously, I hope I don't need to explain why. Again, with Blessed, I would say Resistance, Privilege, and Unusual Fortitude are two considerations. However, in this circumstance, Resistance Privilege would win out because if you can get far enough with your armor, these can take multiple hits. So yeah, if you can get to cycle 5+, this extra armor has additional value. And yes, quite right, Camille. And then the other one is Anakin's Flaw. Again, on the point scoring side of things, we want more hits. For just getting past him and getting that one more cycle, Anakin's Flaw could be a good shout. So, I thought, first off, let me just have a quick look and see how the poll's going, because it was at runner last time I checked. Oh no, it's at Fletcher. Well, I was probably going to do runner anyway. Okay. What I will do, we're going to do a bit of everything anyway, because I've got like 2 hours to kill with you guys. Aren't you lucky? I was going to start with some runner. Now, a couple of things that people are able to play both bow and crossbow. Hello, Casmax. Those who are able to play bow and crossbow have an advantage on any of these speed-based events. And the reason being, because I don't know about you lot, and I'm a little bit out of it at the moment, but this, if you are going fast, will knock the bejesus out of you unless you are super, super fit, and even then, it will still knock the bejesus out of you. Whereas I find, with the crossbow, it's nowhere near as taxing on the shoulder. So what I find a lot of the time is I'll start off doing the bow runs on something like runner, because I know that the longer I play the bow, you'll start getting diminishing returns because you get tired, your arm gets tired, that lactic acid, that lovely lactic acid starts building up. And then if you can play both, you can then change to the crossbow. And I don't know, I'd imagine most people are the same as me, is that you can play the crossbow at a very good speed without it absolutely killing you. Anyway, so what I'm going to show you is how I would prep for a decent time on this. And just for those, and I'm not showing off, I just want to make sure that you know that I'm a little bit of an authority, because I think I can beat that. That's going to be tough to beat, but I might be able to beat this one. I did both of these scores on Paradise Lost. That is the place that you should go if you are looking for a top score. However, when the actual sigil was on and I got 358, that was done on Purgatory. I didn't do Paradise Lost on that because I wanted to wait. I was concentrating on kills. So I think Purgatory, because it's nice and safe and everybody knows their way around Purgatory, is a great place to start. So we're going to put Blessed Quiver on, and we're going to hold that Blessed Quiver for two particular arrows. We want Tempests or we want Divine Sight 5s. Now, I'm not going to do this over and over again if I'm not going to get results. When you guys start getting bored, let me know. But the way that I'm going to play this is as follows. Oh, hang on, take my watch off quick. Otherwise that might end up getting slammed. And I'll just have a quick word of water before we go in. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go into Purgatory. I'm going to kill fast in my normal routes until I've seen 2 drops. If neither of those drops are something that I want, I might go 3 drops if one of those 2 drops is a quiver. If neither of those starting drops are something that I want, I will exit that run and go again. This is why in Discord I want a restart button, because this is the way that I think you have to play this. So we basically want to play this as if we're going for a top time. All the time. Always want to play as if you're going for a top time. But I'm going to play it in such a manner that we try and kill things as quickly as possible. We wait for those drops. Also keep an eye out for where there are some loot locations within the level. So that's 1 drop. Winter Spite is not what we need here. So I'm showing my back to those guys that I know are to the right in the hope that they'll actually take stock of me and start teleporting. It didn't, which is a bit rubbish. But we move on. You can have some of that. What was that? Holy armor. So I would now say at this point, that's my 2 drops. And I haven't got what I want. So because I haven't got what I want, I would now at this stage, as you can see I'm whiffling right down, at this stage now, I would return to Sanctuary. And I would go again. And I would literally repeat this process until I get what I'm after. So let's try that again. Come on, Streamer Luck. We can do it. Easy doors. What I might do is I might play this a little bit further than I normally would. Just so you guys can see the sort of route I take as well. Bear in mind, there are times when I will change my route on the fly, depending on... Oh, cheers! Depending on what arrow I pick up. You would play Divine Sight different to how you would play Tempest. Divine Sight would be all about using them in those big courtyards, whereas Tempest... Come on. Tempest would be trying to get everything to come at you, lining them up. Ricocheting needles. So yeah, what I'll do here is I'll just show off the rest of what I would do to clear. I've already done that. Is there one left down there? I think there is. Hello, Marcus. That is a great question. Let me just finish this little bit and I shall answer. So, that was my route, and I think I missed one. That guy. Ah, and those guys as well. So yeah. I wouldn't come back and get these ones. To be fair, if I was more on it and less talking, I would normally fight through this bit, jump up there, kill those ones, come straight back down again. Another thing that you can do is, as you are going underneath, you'll see Big Smith does this a lot. It does work, but I find it sometimes a little bit intermittent, because you can launch arrows up here and they will teleport down. But it's a bit risky. I'd rather make sure that they're definitely dead than relying on the enemy to do something that they're not inclined to do. However, I think Camille was pointing out on the Discord today, or one of the days, that they're teleporting a little bit more consistently. So we shall check that out. So as to your question on Executioner, the way the Executioner bonus works, we know now, and this we've had confirmed from the likes of the one and only Beanie, who I hope has got it from the actual code in the game, or he works for a company. So the way the executioner bonus works, after you make a kill, that starts a 10-second timer. That 10-second timer will continue to count down whether you kill or not. Every kill that you make adds a second to that timer, wherever it may be at that time. So the only thing that you can do to slow that timer down is slow time. Now, using slow time within the main game to maximize your executioner bonus is preferable, because you want to be maximizing, kind of like what we do if you're in Siege of Heaven, and you're maximizing the amount of time that you have between shots by using slow time. However, with Executioner in a tournament conditions, I will show you something. So you will see, I won't do a proper run here. I'll just do an example, because it's a good question, unless that's Tempest. Oh, that's an even better example. So look at this. That's counting out at a normal rate, even though I have the world in slow time. So that should say to you that during tournament conditions, especially this one where we are not playing for points, do not use slow time. The timer is going at 1 second per second, whether I have slow time on or not. So hopefully that gives you a good example there. This is the reason why I said in my last video, and stand by, to not use cataclysms. Now, cataclysms aren't a bad arrow. You can get a good time. Knights who say me, or Rick Beth, I don't know if he's in the chat or not, one of his best times was using cataclysms. The problem with cataclysms is show you. See that? See, that's... Did you see... No worries, Marcus. So did you see all of that slow time that was happening because of all those explosions? I don't know why Cataclysm does that, why it puts the game into slow time. I think it's so that the system can actually all the natural assets and the explosions and so on. You see, all of these explosions are going on, putting the game into almost like micro stutters. Oh, quiver. Putting the game into like micro stutters of slow time. God, I really want that quiver, don't I? gimme. Putting the game into like micro stutters of slow time. Now, all those micro stutters don't matter too much, but they will slow you down. Because if you're in slow time, one of the big problems with being in slow time as well is that you're in slow time, teleport arrows should be your mainstay for movement. And if your teleport arrows are slowed as well, and the timer is still ticking on at a normal rate, it's just all going against you. So in this mode, you should not be thinking about it. You should be playing like you're executing, but not thinking about it in terms of trying to score. If I was trying to score with Executioner, you better believe I would be hitting slow time after every single kill and trying to game that system as much as possible. It's why you'll see that I say perfected, why I try and do things like this. That's like orphan hunting all over again. Twice now. 3 times now. Not happening. No, it's not. So what I'm trying to show off here is, I'm a bit out of practice, is firing your teleport arrow and then still working the area. Is it any faster? I don't know. I think it is a little bit faster because your teleport arrow is already traveling and you're still killing. Like that. That was a bit better. There you go. A little bit of practice. I mean, I like it. It looks cool, right? But there are times where you'll find yourself using it. It isn't something that I would say like will win you a tournament, or maybe a little bit showy off, to be honest. I just don't know, something that I like to do. Another thing with Executioner is always go for those headshots. Because if you are doing the Executioner method correctly, so I'm glad you asked that, Marcus, because I obviously tried that, and no, you can't. It's really annoying. The easiest way to test whether you can get hit by your own arrows is to do that, and then try and. Because then we don't need to worry about teleporting. Yeah. So friendly fire is very much off. But good question. It's one of the ones that I try and do all the time. Is I try and fire my teleport arrow and try and be here before the arrow lands. I've been trying to, I haven't started, but it's definitely something that I want to show off in one of my videos, because I can do some funny things with that. To be just standing next to an enemy and then an arrow comes out of left field and just smashes him in the face, I think would be a great little compilation if I can get a few of those together. But that's another day. I'm not going to do that in this. So yeah, again with that slow time thing, little micro stutters of slow time, you'll see that I'm holding forward at the moment. All those little micro stutters all add up. You can kill a lot of things with catapult. However, Cupid's Wrath times 3 will do this job without slow time, which is why I don't think the explosions are anything to do with like the game not being able to handle it. Unless they put it in initially and just never took it out, which is possibly why it happens sometimes and doesn't others. But it's not an important enough issue to ask that question, so I've never bothered, if I'm honest. And on the Executioner side of things, as far as scoring, Executioner will not give you as many points as doing stupidly long-range marksman, as doing the sniper style. You cannot compete with a sniper doing long-range headshots if you're doing just Executioner. However, if you are doing Executioner and headshots, you can get near it. If you can do something quite special that me and Beanie have talked about in length, and Beanie always tells me that he can kind of do it, and I suppose I can as well, where you get these long-range headshots, but you get them in very quick succession. So you'll see that I'm slow timing, but it's a difficult prospect at best, because to get those long-range headshots, you need time to prepare. If you haven't got time to prepare, you're losing your Executioner bonus is ticking away as you're going. Every body shot you hit is another headshot that you're missing out on, potentially. So the best bet is to do what I'm doing here with your Executioner, and headshot, 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 headshot. Try to, anyway. The other thing that we found out in the tournament is if you have a finite amount of enemies, i.e. you have a finite amount of time, then Executioner is with shooting headshots at close range and being fast, but also using special arrows to take out large groups can also be preferable. So if time isn't a factor and you want to execute, you take... It's a weird way to put it. If time isn't a factor, as in you'll say executing, want to get your Executioner score up in the main game, you take your time by absolutely abusing slow motion to the absolute max, which you should be doing anyway. If time is a factor, and so the amount of enemies that you could kill that score is as well, there are times when it would be preferable to kill this entire courtyard as quickly as possible to build up So let's say I haven't killed anything right now. All of these guys die. So I've got 10 seconds going. Now 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. All right, so back to 14, 13, 12, 11, 10. And it would be preferable for me, another second there, another second there. It would be preferable for me to kill a lot of enemies to build up a massive chain with lots of seconds behind it so that I can then score well out of the rest of it. But again, as I say, it's Executioner is... I've been pushing Executioner for a very long time, wanting people to experiment with and at least have the gears to be able to play fast. And the problem is just that, is that it's not worth it. It really isn't. That is, Marcus, that is something that I don't know. And I don't think you can test. I do know, however, that the kill bonus caps at 20. So I would have thought, because of how Executioner has run in the past as far as score is concerned, I would have thought that the seconds will stack indefinitely. However, but you're obviously going to be limited to the amount of enemies in an area. I think the seconds will stack indefinitely. I don't see reason why there would be a cap on that. However, there is a cap on the kills. Once you get to your 20th kill within an Executioner bonus, every kill from then on is worth the maximum amount of Executioner points. And if I remember rightly, because a lot of this was testing from Jonathan Jimbo, Elite Jonathan, you'll know him on Discord, but Jonathan Jimbo on YouTube, I think his testing pointed towards 380 points per Executioner at maximum execution. And then on top of that, you would have gold and headshot bonuses, or marksman bonuses. Right, so let's try and get a good start on a runner. And keep the questions coming, guys, because I've got, well, a lot of restarting to do, and I'll probably be moving off to the crossbow in a moment. Oh, nice one, thank you. Yeah, I can't remember. I think it was JJ that done it. But then this is the problem: is when Super Bright do these changes, or rather, when Super Bright do their updates, they don't tell us these things. We have to figure them out, and so everybody does what everybody does, which is they assume that they know what it is because somebody tested it, say season 3 or season 4 or season 2 even, and then everyone assumes that it still works the same way until somebody has a problem with it. Hell, we still would have been going off of the prospect that that Executioner, every time you make a kill, resets your timer to 6 seconds, is what we thought initially, because that fit what was happening within the game. But apparently it never did work that way. Again, you'll see I've got a pestilence. This one's slowing down. I got a pestilence and I got a cataclysm and a wildfire. So I've had 3 drops in quick succession, and none of them have been what I need. So again, return. If you are used to this style of play, this is the way to play runner, in my humble opinion. You get a good arrow at the start of your run, and then you continue to get some quivers and don't have to stop at the shop to restock. That's how you get times like I did. I mean, I did do it on Paradise Lost as well. That's a little bit tougher a call. I think Paradise Lost is a harder level, and with the potential to die on it as well. 390. No, that's cool. Thank you, Camille. I couldn't remember. I think you done it recently, and you were going off of what JJ had originally, which again, as I said, it's all we have to go off of. No one's confirmed those scores. The only thing that we can do is test them. Hail of Arrows is not a bad arrow for this mode. It's not particularly useful, but you know, it's your vanilla arrows but faster. So I've had my 2 drops again there. At this point, I would go up and around here. I'll carry on killing. In this mode, we want headshots. The reason why we want headshots is because it kills them at fastest. However, a body shot, a quick snapped body shot, yes. Yeah, you're probably not wrong, you know. So yeah, we have to headshot monks. We have to headshot monks. We have to headshot monks. We have to headshot white knights because they'll go down in one. They'll take multiple body shots. The more shots we're having to fire at them, the longer it's taking us to kill them. The longer it's taking us to kill them, the longer it is for them to die. And so we can't be as fast. If you body shot an abomination at cycle 1, it'll go down as long as you've drawn enough. So it's 6 of one, half dozen of the other. I'm always going to be aiming at the head, but if I pull a shot, snap a shot, don't do full draw and hit a body and it still kills, it's the same end result because we're not worried about points. Doesn't matter. And yeah, if I didn't get out of the first section with the arrow that I want, again, I would return. And don't worry, I won't be doing this all night. I was kind of hoping to get a decent arrow so that I can show you, because it's one of the things that I'm hoping JJ does is brings Beat the Bar back so that we can actually have a leaderboard for the different levels just on vanilla arrows, just to level the playing field nicely. Because as much as I'm at the top of the leaderboard for Fletcher, I know as well as anybody else, you don't need to let me know that this is about RNG. And it's a bit annoying, but it's that kind of game. It's all you can really go off of. So let's go again. All my headshots there, brilliant. But then the other thing that you've got as well is, even if you are pegging body shots and monks, as long as you've got a decent rate of fire, mine's not bad on the bow. It's much better on the crossbow, because that's what it's designed for. Not fast enough, not when you can do the crossbow. Come on, give me another arrow. So, again, about that diminishing returns. This is part of the reason why I do what I do. Or do it this way. Yes. Thank you, Jonathan, indeed. Hey, K2. So, yeah, diminishing returns. The more and more I play, especially on the bow, the slower and slower I'm going to get, because my arm starts to ache just like everybody else's. So you've got to, or I try, and this is why I'm doing what I'm doing as far as these restarts are concerned, because if you are new to this, it is good practice to play through each and every configuration, each and every level, and keep on playing all the way to the end and record that score. For me, who I'm familiar with the levels and the layouts, and I have my routes laid out and everything, if I don't get that starting arrow, if I don't get that good arrow, if I continue at that point and complete a runner, I'm not getting any. There's no category for like vanilla arrows or not playing it with the most efficient arrow. So I might as well start again. Nope. Volley 3. I mean, does have some merit. We don't know as far as Sigils yet. It is either Tempest or Divine Sight. I can work with Divine Sight 3. I would prefer Divine Sight 5. Oh, there was the Quiver as well. So yeah, that's my 2 drops. So again, I would start. Oh, technically 3 because of blood. The way the drop system actually works. And again, I haven't had this confirmed, which is annoying because we don't really know. But I think Beanie's mentioned it a few times to me in passing, is he looked into it. And the way that it works is if you imagine there's a roll system. I'm into my board games, so forgive me because I'm going to use dice as a good example. So imagine you roll 1 dice and that dice will pick a rarity. So say from 1 to 4. With things like pestilence, wildfire, I think Winter's Bite. I'm trying to think what else. There's quite a lot, or well, actually no, I think there's an equal amount of like what would be considered tier 1 arrows. Now, this is part of the reason why Winter's Bite's quite good, is because although it's considered a tier 1 arrow and quite a common drop, it's probably like the be-all and end-all arrow of the entire game. But yeah, imagine you roll a dice with your left hand, and that gives you a tier, and then you roll a dice with your right hand, and that will give you the thing within the tier. Whether healing items are a separate tier to arrows, that I couldn't tell you. That I don't know. And to be fair, I didn't ask that question either. But you know, it's worth knowing. Like for instance, as crap an arrow as Shrapnel Blast is, although it does have some scoring applications, but as I've alluded to before, if they were worthwhile doing, I would show you, but I don't know. It's Sigils today, so we'll do Sigils, and maybe I'll show how Shrapnel Blast can work in Fletcher, possibly. But yeah, as far as this tiering system's concerned, like Shrapnel Blast is considered, I think, like tier 3 or probably even tier 4 arrow. Good question. I'll come to Curse in a second. As far as the tiering is concerned, then, what was I saying on it? In fact, I think I was done with everything that you need to know about tiering. I'm pretty sure. But yeah, there's definitely a tier system, and yeah, it's when you kill an enemy is when it rolls. However, I've also had that information countered again by Beanie, in that there are going to be in a level specific enemies that will give a chance of a drop. So you could go through an entire level, and I can probably confirm this because I've had something quite similar. If you say went through a level and the game crashed, or you did that whole load from device load from cloud and picked the wrong one and went back through that same level again, you would get the same drops from the same, you would get drops from the same enemies. Whether it re-rolls them or not, I don't know. As for Curse is good if you were going up against the likes of Cupids or Bats. So it'd be good in Desolation, and it would be kind of good in Paradise Lost. The problem with Curse is it doesn't kill fast enough, and it's got the chance of going on to something that it will take a long time to kill. Yes, Curse can, but then and therein lies the problem. Curse has a caveat, we don't want caveats. Don't get me wrong, it's a good arrow. You could put a good time in with Curse. The problem is it's just too unpredictable, or we know it's always going to spread to the next closest thing. But sometimes you might not be able to know what the next closest thing is. We have no control over that. Tempest, you shoot it at the thing. Divine Sight, you shoot it near the thing and it gets riddled. Curse has that mind of its own, and if it starts attaching itself to knights and monks that you were going to kill anyway, it's damage that it might as well not be doing. I'd even go as far as to say that Pestilence is probably a little bit better. The other problem with Curse is it would be great if this game... So does everyone remember how I was talking about 17? Don't want to remind myself about that Orphan session. It was fantastically bad. But that rule that I was talking about with the whole 17, or in that region, with how many enemies can spawn. Well, therein lies another problem with Curse. If you drop a Curse and there are 17 enemies behind you, and then you go to the front, go through the rest of the level and start killing things, well, guess what? Because these guys are spawning in front of you, the things that were behind you are despawning, and Curse will not be able to put out enough damage to keep up with you as quickly as you can move. On top of that as well, if Curse was to hit an enemy that then despawned, it takes Curse with it, which is a lot of fun. So yeah, I think Pestilence is the better shout, but even then, Pestilence isn't that good. Pestilence is great for dropping in a cloud of bats, because it'll drop them all quick. But then you could say Lightning. Or Lightning is as good. Yes, Marcus. Oh, okay, here we go. Yep, she's quite right feet. Now, herein lies the problem with Runner, is you could get a really good arrow and be doing really well with it and going really fast. I should add Cupids to the list. However, my hoppers will take that quick. Yep. So, this could be good, but the problem with Cupids is they run out so fast. No fire, ain't gonna help us. That's a quiver. Right, now we're gonna go let this free. So now I'm going to change my route a little bit on the fly to try and take care of these enemies and then come back for that quiver to try and make the ammunition as efficient as possible. That was a waste. So notice how this is a good arrow because it's killing multiple enemies, but it is not slow timing me. Hey, oh come on. Thank you, game. That's not good enough. Come on. That's another reason why you'll see me having a pause there, which was really bad. I shouldn't have been on top of that. How many we got? So this is one of those times where I really need a quiver to be able to finish this off. So I know I always say don't go in the shop. We're going to have a quick look. Of course there's not a quiver. Why would there fucking be? And if... See, the argument is I could now get a quiver. saving my electricity for heat. Oh no, we've got 2 left. Oh dear. We can still put that to good use. This is going to be my arm absolutely blasted. Get out of the way. One of those as well. Hopefully that finishes it off. Getting low though. Is that a quiver? No, it's not. Damn it. Didn't need to use that. Got a drop quiver. Yes, Cataclysm. Thanks very much. And we're out. And this is where it goes to pieces. Come on. Ah. Well, if I hadn't got caught in the geometry. Short teleport arrows, as I did a really bad example of, will still get you as fast as the long teleport arrows. But with the short teleport arrows, you have less a chance. Oh! That's what I was hoping for. See, I've done this before. Oh! Couple in there. You can have one. And then hopefully there's enough in here. Wow, God, that felt so much faster than 5 minutes. So yeah, Cupid's is all right, but Cupid's is, I would take a Divine Sight 5 over Cupid's, because the problem with Cupid's, I had to stop in the shop there as well. Whew. The problem with Cupids is you only get 20, and it's just not enough. Well, you say nice, Mark, but yeah. Again, though, we are doing it on the wrong level. If I wanted to be doing this at maximum, I'd go to Paradise Lost, but I don't need to. I'm on the top. I mean, hey, look, SBCM. Beanie's changed his name. Look. Son of a bitch, call me. Ah, okay, Beanie, I got you, you son of a bitch. So it isn't that, though. I would imagine that it stands for Super Bright Community Manager. Hey, 9 minutes. 9 minutes is respectable, my dude. Whew, I should be getting these decent scores because I have put way too much time into this game. It's all right. I'm feeling it after that one, so I'm now going to rest a little bit with the crossbow, and we go again. So yeah, that's a situation where I probably shouldn't have burnt my arms out trying to do a fast run with Cupids, because I've tried that before, thinking that it's a good shout. This could be a good run if we get the good stuff. Shrapnel blast is not going to help us. Right, at this point, I will carry on, just in case, because I've already seen a quiver. Because I've already seen a quiver, that means that we would get a reload. So if we get a drop, come on, Tempest. Come on, Divine Sight, come on. If we get a drop, we could go weapons free on the rest of this level if it comes anytime soon. I mean, I'll tell you now, I'm wasting my armor here because it never does. But we live in hope. So yeah, pestilence. But yeah, if I saw, because I saw that, oh god, I got all excited, because I saw the quiver from here, I would push this level a little bit further and try and kill everything in it in the hopes of getting a Tempest, and I would carry on past 2 drops. But by the time you've killed everything in the level, the reason why I would do that is because, say for instance, halfway through that mess, I picked up Tempest or Divine Sight. I can literally go ham on everything and even use it in places where I shouldn't, safe in the knowledge that I can leave this place with it full. So, yeah. Pushed myself there a little bit. Right. Let's have another go. But yeah, so I still think Divine Sight 3 and Divine Sight 5, bit of a toss-up. Tempest for this level specifically. As far as Paradise Lost is concerned, Divine Sight all day. Reason being, Tempest... bit empty in it? Tempest... Damn it. What's going on? Where's all my enemies? Tempest does not kill witches reliably enough for us. You see what I did there is I moved down past the corridor because I knew I'd alerted those guys who were close, because they were close, and could continue down that corridor and come back for them. Getting the enemies to move at you is another good feature. Or teleport towards you is always a good thing. Barrage of needles. Again, see, I'm playing this at the level that I'm playing at this, and I wouldn't expect you guys to do the same because I'm a fucking idiot. But Barrage of Needles is still going to get you a respectable time. This would be preferable to Vanilla Arrows. Thank you, Bargain Bin. I am self-taught. I remember seeing people, they used to call it the submachine gun. I was like, no, that's not submachine gunning. Submachine gunning are much faster. But what it is quite close to. The likelihood is, Camille, it'll be hitting something that you didn't see. Yeah, no, that's cool. No worries, man. No worries. Yeah, I found the same. I found the same a lot of the time, especially with the crossbow, because that takes ages to register. Firing a shot way off into... in fact, I don't know why am I talking about it. I'll demonstrate it. Oh, we'll go on Fletcher now. I'll show you what I think you're talking about, because I found the same. So we're not gonna... Starting off well. Just be careful and try and actually get the arrow. So, incursion, arrow of champions. Ooh, could I show you it? Let me try and show you something. So, you know, I'll do the DS thing in a minute. You know how I was saying how Shrapnel Blast has the potential for being a... It's not going to be Barrage of Needles because this is so much harder to do. But if I was to hit this guy now, those that go into the back, that's I don't think that one counted. But you can make those become headshots, and everyone is a little headshot, just like how needles used to work. And they're actually even less damaging, but still score tiny amounts. Oh, we got DS. The problem is you will nearly always kill the target that you're shooting into. You will do sod all damage to the thing behind, which is good. The problem is to line enemies up well and be effective with the arrow, you need to use combinations of Hand of God and Winter's Bite. You then need to move them together and shoot them. One of the things that I found with Shrapnel Blast is if you can maneuver, say, a couple of knights together, and you can shoot the Shrapnel Blast into the shield, it will then hit the shield and explode out the back. So then the game that I started playing was freezing knights in poses so that I could angle the shield so that I could hit it with a shrapnel blast, so that the shrapnel blast would go from behind it and hit the knight behind in the head. And you have to do it very precisely, otherwise it won't count as a headshot. If you do all of that, you'll maybe get a handful of extra headshots, but they're weak headshots. It is nowhere near, because I've tested it. I was gonna, damn it. It is nowhere near the level of, might have a problem here, hang on. Ha! Get off! Yeah, he'll be back. I mean, to be fair, sorry, what did you say? Lost stream, Kim? It seems like it's still all going fine. Let me just check. Oh, maybe it just jittered a little. Yeah, basically. To be fair, next time I come on, I will try and have it set up, and I'll show it off, and we'll have a look at the points. But basically, when I was doing Barrage of Needles. Oh, okay, cool. Thank you, Marcus. When I was doing, I'm trying to test this. When I was doing Barrage of Needles, it was very simple and very easy. Oh, no, not simple and easy, but it was a lot more clear cut. It was a lot more clear cut way to score the points on them. You could just you're not having a good time with it, are you? Whoops. Better kill him. See, this is the problem with knocking them off, is they will teleport back. And even if you did knock something off and it fell and didn't have the ability to teleport, it will respawn at its previous location. Oh god, this is fun, isn't it? Hey there, Silver Tongue Devil here. Welcome to my shield bashing stream. We're going to be trying to shield bash for the next 24 hours straight. No, you didn't. I haven't fired it yet. I keep on moving across. So what I think is what you might be happening. Sorry, I got distracted. I was saying about shrapnel. So what I think might be happening is this. So Divine Sight 5 with a bow especially, but also with a crossbow, is a very slow moving arrow. If I fire it off, can I demonstrate? So if I fire it off, and we'll count. 1 1000, 2 1000, 3 1000, 4 1000, 5 1000, 6 1000, 7 1000, 8 1000, 9 1000, 10 1000, 11 1000, 12 1000, 13 1000. Oh, I might have actually. Or did it take my. No, it didn't take my armor. Ooh. I mean. Alright. Maybe they just made Divine Sight 5 really good. I'm going to test that again. What I thought you might be having is something that I've come across a few times, where you fire the arrow into the ether and you think you've got away with it because it's hit something. You then continue on and you get hit much later on. Well, that definitely hit me. Let's try and get another one, and we'll test it again. Because it could be, you know. So this is the. Not Divine Sight 1. We'll try. You're not wrong. Yes, we did. Bloody Divine Sight. Oh, I thought it was cactus. I think I explained this the last time we had a run on Fletcher. Oh, there we go. That's what we want. Right, let's get away from these guys and they don't come after us. Please don't come after us. Just leave me alone. I don't want to spend the next 24 hours shield bashing you. Right. Good job, gang. I think we lost them. So let's go all the way out here. Right. Because, yeah, I thought it might have taken the armor off, but I was definitely a health down and didn't have armor when I fired that initial one. Huh. Yes, that's the problem that we all have. Holy Light, thank you. Cataclysm, thank you. Incursion, thank you. Here's the problem. It's the reason why if I was... we'll go back to Runner in a minute after we've done some testing, but it's the reason why, as far as Fletcher is concerned, I would implore you to just do everything at point-blank range. And then, as me and Camille have been discussing on the Discord, if you can then add speed to that and get headshots with it, then you're onto something, I think. But it's, yeah, if you think I use copious amounts of... Oh, I missed them both. Oh, there we go, there's Divine Sight 5. I need to try this on Divine Sight 3 as well. But I think 5 trumps 3 in this mode. I don't think we'll see it. So let's make sure we're not, like, I don't know, shooting the edge of the level and that's counting as a hit. But I did that with Winter's Bite a minute ago and that did not work. Oh, I don't want enemies in sight. Right. The thing is, as well, as far as gaze is concerned, if we are looking away from the enemies, it shouldn't go towards them, he hopes. So I would get hit about now. Yeah, I think that's bugged then. Happy days, Fletcher just got easier. But then the thing is, with DS, I would use that quite close anyway. Oh, here's a thing that you may not know. If you shoot that close range, that only counts, I think I've mentioned this before, that still only counts as 1 lightning. So because I've hit that at an extremely close range, that is 1 lightning ball for all intents and purposes, even though it was 3. So that's more for other modes than this one. It doesn't really matter too much here. A hit is a hit. Oh look, Holy Light. Thanks for the heavy arrow. No, it doesn't. I've tested it and it doesn't. So that was a 3 times, and because we hit particularly close with it, it groups into 1. You can try it next time. We've got Tempest. You've got Chain Lightning times 3. Hey, Curse of God, best arrow in the game. Look at that. Because we had Lightning Ball times 3. If you fire Lightning Ball times 3 either into the ground, into the wall, or quite close to you, it doesn't have chance to spread out. Oh, right, yes. It's... again, that I think Ball Lightning does. But what I'm getting at is it only counts as 1 lightning ball. But yeah, no, I get what you're saying. It's all to do with whether the arrow technically has a point or not, or I suppose all. No worries, dude. Thank you, Marcus. See you in a bit. Yeah, it depends on whether the arrow has a tip or not, or whether it counts as a tip. So, like, for instance, Cupid's Wrath, because it explodes before it actually hits and buries the tip into the head, will never count as a headshot, and will always explode. That's why, like, for instance, in my Cupid Execution video, let's see if it works with this one. Yeah, so that counted as the big hit, but that's only 1 lightning ball. If we'd have shot that any further away, it would have branched off into 3. Another interesting fact is Ball of Lightning 3 balls stick about for about 6 seconds, whereas Ball of Lightning 1 balls stick around for longer, closer to 10 seconds. Does that mean that you should use Ball Lightning 1 over Ball Lightning 3? Does it? Fuck. So yeah. Right. Let's try. Yeah, no, the times... yeah, it definitely has its uses, because it's another arrow that you could then use again on, say, executing an orphan, but also at least putting an arrow down on the level. Putting a lightning ball down on the level, rather. Right, let's see if this is happening with all... Oh, I didn't want you to come with me, or you! None of you guys are invited, we're testing. Stop it. Right. Because you know what's going to happen as soon as I loose this crossbow bolt. Some guy's going to be like, hey, I'll eat that. Yum. Right. No, guys? No, guys. Don't. Oh, I think we might have a pass on Divine Sight. Thing is, that wasn't in any patch notes. That's changed recently. I don't think that's intended. I'll have to, I shall ask amongst the correct channels. But, yeah. If you are going to, get a Fletcher run going, now's the fucking time. But yeah, Camille might be quite right in that we've complained a fair bit. Well, not complained. I haven't said too much about it. It just means you can't use the arrow the way that you want to. But then you could say, well, if it's purposely doing that with Divine Sight 5, then why does Cataclysm explosions? Yeah, so it's definitely a recent change, because Divine Sight was definitely absolutely rinsing me for life all day for quite a while. Anyway, yeah, I think it might be all Divine Sight. We need to try Cupids now. Testing with Silver Tongue Devil. Early light. You can have early light. Tempest. You can have Tempest. God. Damn you, Curse of God. Careful. Death's door here. Careful, careful. I wanted to see if... I want to see if Cupid's has got the same treatment. I would say no, it hasn't, because Cupid should be reasonably easy to use already, with it being an explosive arrow. But what I'll try, because I'm guessing we can now dump Divine Sight. Divine Sight 3 is good. Divine Sight 5 is good. Cupid's Wrath ×3 is also good. What about Volley? Ow. Wow, so they give you a buy on Cupids, but not on Volley. I was thinking then it might be all multiple arrows. It's definitely not Cataclysm. Well, there you go, kids. Good finds, everybody. Well done. Divine Sight ×3 ×5. Cupid 1 and Cupid ×3 are back on the menu, boys. But yeah, so if you are going to get a Fletcher run going, because I don't know if that's intended. Because I think that would have been mentioned. I don't even know the last time we actually had an update, if I'm honest. So yeah. Yep. Yeah. I mean, because so the way that you should, or the way I think you should be playing Fletcher is like Executioner, but hyper on the. Oh, run wrong way. Executioner, but hyper on the old slow time, like even more so than a normal run. Yeah, I think I don't know. I don't know about the ranged AI at the moment. I'm out to farm on that one, but again, I haven't played yet, so it's what it'll be. Most likely is remember that this game was not created by the people who are now working on it, i.e. Superbright. It was created by Solfar. Now, a lot of things that happen within Superbright, within In Death Unchained, it's one of those things. I mean, what little I know of coding is change one thing and you can change something without actually realizing. Maybe they did change it for the purposes of Fletcher then, possibly. But it's good that they teleport towards us. But yeah, my point here is, with coding, change one thing and you could irrevocably change something else and not even realize it, like a knock-on effect, like the butterfly effect. You know, a butterfly beats its wings in where I live in Cornwall, and then, you know, volcanoes in Japan, or whatever the butterfly effect is, but it's something like that. I don't think it's volcanoes though. Probably not in Japan either. But the same principle. Change one thing somewhere and it can have massive effects and massive knock-on impacts on another. Now that's just coding, that's just something that happens, especially if the code isn't amazing or like really well crafted, or sometimes it can even be so well crafted that then the slightest change has these knock-on effects. Then add on to that I think some of the code that Superbright uses, or possibly a lot of the code that Superbright uses, is not theirs. Either they didn't make it or they were building on somebody else's existing code. So we then have another problem. Not only are you changing something and it could have an effect on something else, but you're changing something of somebody else's. So, for instance, if I coded something, I would know if I changed something, it would probably have an effect on something else. However, if somebody else changed my code, they may not be aware of that, or they may not know that, or they may not see the links. So again, I have a very rudimentary understanding of coding. From one little code, I can only apply that example because what little coding I did at college with a friend of mine, I was really bad at it. I was very slapdash with coding in that it was like, right, that works, next project, next assignment, next code. Whereas the friend of mine used to craft amazing code that always used to work. Yes, that's what I figured. I mean, yeah, that is a possibility. The possibilities are, but then the thing is, I don't think they've done that purposefully, and I don't think they've increased the shooting AI on the archers purposefully. I hope they have, but like, I don't know. To me, with other games, these are the sort of things that companies would mention or people would say. All right, I'm just gonna have a quick wet, and then we'll carry on. No worries. Thank you very much for turning in, Bargain Bin. No worries, dude. Oh. Right, let's do another quick one of these. And then maybe we'll have a look. I mean, to be fair, runners where I'm at home with, and maybe showing off some of my routes and some of the bits and pieces. It also keeps me in practice. It's one of the things that I'm really actually loving about being able to streams, is I'm actually able to play the game a lot. It's really good. What, predicting our movement as in what, being more aggressive and teleporting in, or predicting our movement with shooting arrows? Because they've always predicted your movement with shooting arrows. I assume you mean teleporting. But again, I don't know. To be fair, they're dying quick enough that I'm not going to see it even if it is happening. I don't know, let's try. We'll leave him, see what he does. Expect him to come into this room. I mean, I would expect him to come into this room regardless, but that was probably a little quicker. So I don't know. Maybe it is a change because we're now able to speedrun and we're now able to do Fletcher. It's possible, but I don't know. I'd have to play a lot and be looking for that to actually spot it. But then this is the other thing. How many things do the likes of Super Bright and in Death Unchained get away with by just changing things and slipping the code in and updating it? And because it's such a minor thing, you know, they just don't bother telling us because it's trivial or it's not important. But I don't know, you might be right. Hopefully you are, because that's going to make things a little bit easier. It's going to change my tactics a little bit because I can just not worry about archers and wait for them to always teleport in front of me, which I would kind of do anyway. It's just not as reliable. So I can tell you, as somebody who's been playing it for a very long time, that the movement side of things has always been the case. As far as the arrows is concerned, that's why I could have done the tips and 30 ticks on it a very long time ago. Yeah, I've known about the whole locomotion thing for a very long time. And if you are moving, just to demonstrate what we're talking about here, if you don't know what we're banging on about, I did do a video on it, but who watches those, eh? So this dude's, let's get some distance. This dude's gonna fire at me. If I'm moving, he will fire to where I'm going to, and I can stop him hitting me. Move in, stop. So he's always tracking me. I mean, thing is, Cycle 1's not a good place to test this because their accuracy at Cycle 1 is garbage. Except when it's not. But yeah, more often than not. Like for instance, from about, I think, Cycle 6, it would be a rare occasion for an archer to have a bead on or an issue. Let me see if I can get some distance. To be fair, it's the special monks that I should be testing this out on, really. So I can... Oh yeah, good shot, mate. I'm not up there, dude. So I'm stood stock still now. And... well, yeah. More often than not, they are hitting me. If I was to move... See, he was trying to track my movements as to where I'm going. And as far as I'm concerned, the game has always done that to me. From whatever season I was playing the main game in Season 2. I've known that for a long time and spouted that to people for a long time. And I've only recently put it out there as a tips and 30 ticks because... yes, most likely. No, I think you're right. So yeah, it's always been a thing. But the thing is, you don't know it unless you know it. And that's what I try and do with a lot of my videos, because it's all well and good me having all this pointless knowledge up in my head about this game and all the stupid things I find out whilst testing, like, you know, the Lightning Bolt 1 sticking around longer than Lightning Bolt 3. Who the fuck needs to know about that? I do, apparently. And I do. So, and is it useful knowledge? Not really. Is it applied knowledge? No, not really. Is it good conversation? Well, I don't know. It's an IDU stream, so you can be the judge of that. Probably not. So is there anything, I mean, I'm obviously quite happy just whittling away the time doing this. Seeing if we can get a good start. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Shield. It's an offensive weapon, that is. The problem, the shield's had a long-standing issue of not working right. So, and I don't think it's improved any. There was a time when locomotion, I didn't use it anywhere near as I do now, because you used to be able to use the shard in its place. And that, I think... No, you're fine, dude. I will. Hey, as long as you guys are interested to hear me talk about it, I will talk about it. Dude, don't worry, it's fine. Hello, Sean. It's not a problem, dude. I'll be honest, I wasn't expecting much of a turnout for this one, so I'm very glad that you guys are here. I wasn't expecting much of a turnout on this one, because it's Saturday night, first and foremost, so I didn't know if this was going to be a good day to do it or not. And you know, it's off my schedule, so... Mate, you are doing me some fantastic service by all that you're doing on Facebook for me, and I'm not even asking you to do it either. So, mate, I will give you an official pardon, and I also have probably another 1,000 to 2,000 of those lined up with your name on it. So I'll give you a little recap of what I'm doing here, Sean, because we've covered some little bits and pieces. I know, right? So what we're doing here is I'm showing off a little bit about Runner. And all I'm doing, we've covered what sigils you should use and what you shouldn't. I won't go through all of them again, and I won't give the reasons why. You can check the stream later, but it's definitely Blessed Quiver for this. Kurt Purg is like home. So what we are doing here, John, is I am showing off my techniques, how I would start sigil, start this sigil, how we'll start a run sigil. So, not getting this many hits, but it doesn't matter. Again, you know, I ain't got time to leave. Just keep killing, just keep doing it. And what I'm doing is I am waiting for 2 drops, and if neither of those drops come and they are not what I want, I will restart. So I've had 2 drops. I had Pestilence and Blood of the Lamb, and that hasn't given me the arrow that I want. So I would return to Sanctuary and go again. And the reason being, and this is if you want to get a particularly good time, if you are practicing at getting faster, I would consider going through Purgatory each time. But I'm literally going to just keep on restarting Purgatory and try and get a decent arrow. Hey, it will give me what I want eventually. It bloody better. See, it's funny you guys say about the Abyss, because... are we going to get conned again? Maybe. That's a good drop. That was a bad shot. So we can be fast with this, but the problem is, unless we're precise... So this is another part of the problem as well, is when you get those drops, it's always unexpected. So you're always kind of playing off the back foot a little bit as to being fast, which is a pain in the backside. Yeah, for me, Purgatory's home, but it's funny you say we're going to need this. I don't even think we've got the ammunition or the money for it. Nah, I think that's a bust. Look at... Oh, no, it's a Titan, not Tempest. So, the thing is, that is the big problem with Cupids, is... Because you can, don't get me wrong, you can get a good score with Cupids. However, the problem is, even with Blessed Quiver, that's still only 20 in the tank, and they do not go very far. Even if every shot is efficient, they just don't go very far. Whereas with Tempest, I would expect to be able to clear a level and a half with a full quiver. Because I think with Blessed Quiver and Tempest, you get like 52, which is a ridiculous amount. And because we don't have to wait... I mean, the travel time of the crossbow on Cupid's Wrath is very quick, but because we don't have to wait for the hits, because they go off like a railgun, so they like hit everything within their path pretty much instantaneously, it means that the kills come even faster. So Tempest for here is really good. Divine Sight will work, but it's Tempest that you can really rattle off. So yeah, so I would basically keep on restarting and playing. If you are at the early stages of like finding your speed, getting your rhythm, learning the layouts, if you know every layout and you know roundabouts, you don't need to know what's going to spawn there, but you've got a pretty good idea of where the fixed spawns are, then you do not need to finish every run. You just keep doing this. And so we'll play until we get 2 drops, see what we get, and then go from there. And you also... Yes, that's... Well, yes and no. The floating, yeah, the floating the DS does at full draw. I've already had 2, so I'd start this again. The floatiness of DS 5, 3, 1, and all the Cupids is a problem because they are slow. That's actually part of their benefit on Paradise Lost, because they will still be floating around close to enough to enemies whilst others are dying from other parts of DS5, and then when they teleport in, they'll home in on them. And because you're a little, because you missed it earlier, as far as Fletcher is concerned, you no longer seem to lose life, even if you straight up miss with DS1, 3, 5, or Cupid 1 or 3. So if you are going to start a Fletcher run, now's the fucking time. Well, so DS5 is preferable for Paradise Lost. Tempest is good for this level, and it's all right for Paradise. The problem with Tempests is they are not reliable enough for us on Witches, because of those staffs getting in the way, soaking up the hits, and so they don't take the damage. Because they don't do that, it's not reliable enough. That's not that I won't pick up a Tempest, but I wouldn't consider a Tempest on Paradise Lost an amazing drop, although if I got Tempest in DS5 I'd be happy. So I was saying about there was like a little thing in the code. I think that's my 2. Hey. thing in the code. There was a time on the locomotion side of things where I didn't used to use locomotion quite as much, because walking forward on the left thumbstick, so locomotioning, and then doing that used to make you teleport forward. You didn't have to do this little chuck thing. I'm really bad at using the shard, or rather, I've seen people that can use the shard, Rico and Big Smith are really good at using the shard. However, for me, it's like, well, a teleport arrow, I can rattle off shots and a teleport arrow at the same time. I don't have to stop. I can keep firing whilst moving. So for me, that trumps it, which just makes the... I mean, it looks pretty, the red one, it really does. But it just makes it not as good. It's good for... The only thing that I use the shard for is dodging. But yeah, when there was a time when you could do that and move forward, it was amazing. Now you have to give those little nudges. And if you give those little... Or you do this, and you go from front to back. But it's still not amazing. And you can bring it across yourself to strafe left and right, which is really good for dodging out of the way or into Asmos boulders. But it's nowhere near as good as it used to be. Another toy gun indeed. And you know what? You know, you guys keep on saying, oh my, he's so fast with the crossbow. I used to be faster. And I used to be faster because I'll try and show you. Because I had quite a big discussion with Septilla, who's one of the head testers there, like one of the lead program guys, I think. Can I do it here? Yes, I can. So, firing the crossbow, that's a reasonable rate of fire. That can get you very far. Doing that is even better. And that's about as fast as I can go. But you will see that eventually... Oh, go on. See that little stutter? So this is me just firing the crossbow normally, and every now and then I'll have a little stutter and it'll slow my rate of fire. Because of that, it slows me down overall. I think the reason being is because they changed something in the game, and they changed that you can only have 5 arrows within the game world, 5 vanilla arrows within the game world. So if I do that rapid fire here, maybe 6, you see that there's little stutters, and it throws off my timing, so I can't fire as fast. However, if I was to do the same thing with a teleport arrow to somewhere that I can't teleport, it would bounce off. Now this is harder to do, but this was the test that I gave them. Is that I can fire as fast with the teleport arrow, and bear in mind this is on button trigger, and I get no stutter. And I think the reason being is because as those teleport arrows are hitting, they are disappearing from the world. So there's only 1 or 2 teleport arrows in the world at a time, which is nowhere near the maximum, and it allows you to continue to fire. Whereas with normal arrows, because there is a limit as to how many can be in the world flying, it won't load up an arrow, which then stalls my fire. And I put an extensive video together showing off all of these merits, and they said, nah mate, don't know what you're on about, fucking learn to play the game, you noob. So yeah, there you go. Nice one, Camille, thank you for dropping by and all the questions. Oh, and just before you go, Camille, because I think there's a decent amount of you here. Oh, there's 9 of you, that's enough. Because I'm going to start mentioning this at all points of my all the future streams. If you haven't seen the little community post that I put up, I am pushing into some other games, and I am going to be doing it in such a way that you guys are going to benefit from it. So what I've done is I have been talking with a developer or 2. One's definitely confirmed, and I'm hoping if I can put a good example together, then this could be something that we could do regular. But basically, if you read the community post, you'll see that what I'm trying to do is I'm going to be playing other games I'm going to try and get the devs in the chat so that you guys can badger them and pester them and talk to them and all sorts. And the agreement will be with them that they come in and chat with you guys and me, and they might be able to tell me things about games, because I'm not amazing at everything. I'm not really amazing at this. But the games that I'm picking are ones that I've played a decent amount or are very experienced in. And they are also going to be giving away some game keys in the chat. So basically, it will then, you guys that come up and support me and watch me anyway, you're going to benefit because you're going to get some keys, because they're going to be giving them away. And as long as you're in the chat, happy days. And keys for games that you don't have. Yes, it should be. But the focus of what we're doing is still going to be IDU. I'm not changing that. So one thing, the plan is to do those kind of streams every other Wednesday, or I might even do them every other Saturday. My hope is, if I can make them popular, then that gives me more clout with getting more and bigger developers to take my idea on, and then that means more game keys for you and more advertisement for them, and everybody's happy. And the first game that we're going to be looking at, because I haven't, well, kind of got some others in the mix at the moment. The first game we're going to be having a look at is Sweet Surrender, which is an awesome little game that I play, which is basically a sci-fi shooter, roguelite experience with permadeath and an upgrade system. And the reason why I've gone for that one is because I think it's quite similar to how IDU is. It hasn't got as much within it as IDU has. It isn't quite as broad as IDU, but it's got a class system in it, which makes it even a little bit more wider in some regards. It's not as long and it doesn't have infinite cycles, but they are constantly adding new stuff to it, and it's awesome. Well, the hope is, well, the problem that I've got at the moment is Saturday. Well, I'm going to see how it goes. The first one is definitely going to be on a Wednesday, and I'll see. The fact of the matter is, Kate, that Kim, rather, that I need it to be good. So I'm going to try and put it on a day that's going to get as much attention as possible. Reason being is because if I can then talk to future devs and go, hey, look at all the attention that I get on this, want some? They will. Yeah. So we shall see. Because, like, if Wednesday's popular for IDU and Saturday doesn't do quite so well, I'll change it. I'll change it on the fly. What I might even do, if it goes well enough, is do one stream a week for X game with devs in the chat and keys and all the good stuff, and then do 2 IDU streams a week, one for Sigils and one for other things. So, because let me tell you, doing these streams, it's a hell of a lot easier than crafting the vids. And I think you guys take away as much from these as you do the vids. So, alright, that was bad drops. So what other else do we have planned for Sigils? Because we've done plenty of running now, and I'm not really getting the drops that I'm after. And going fast. Yeah. So that's, I will never ask anybody on the channel for anything. Or if I do, you are more than happy. I'm more than happy for you to take me out to the pastures and shoot me. If I ever become one of those, hey guys, Silver Tongue Devil here, welcome to the stream, and giving it all that large, again, out to the pastures, execution is in order. I'll do things the way that I want to do, which you guys seem to be happy with at the moment anyway. But the one thing that I would ask of all of you is if I could get as much attendance on those days when, and there's reason to be there because you might get a free game out of it, then yeah, as I say, it gives me more clout. And more clout means more reach. And more reach means more grasp. And more grasp is what I want. So, Nightsy says, me. Doing all right out of the bow there. Keeping that quiet. Very quiet indeed. So let's have a look, because we've done a lot of runner. We have a quick look at the poll, because it's still going. I think it's still going. It is, you're quite right, Sean. So Fletcher is the one that you guys have had the most bits and pieces on. Right, what would I like for battery and time? God, doesn't our fly? Actually, though, I've got a decent amount of battery left. Doesn't seem to be chunking quite as badly. Okay, so let's have a look at Fletcher, and let's do it on the bow, because my slow time is very good on the bow, or abuse of is very good on the bow. Whereas with the crossbow, you may have seen that I don't really use it, so slow time would be more preferable. Now, Blessed Quiver, no, we do not need that. Blessed Quiver, no good to us. Wealth Privilege, no good to us. Again, hopefully I don't have to explain why. The only ones that we would be interested in would be Anakin's Flaw, Resistance Privilege, or Unusual Fortitude. Now, for me, because I want to score points, Anakin's Flaw is probably not a good proposition because less hits. Nope, that's cool. No, that's cool, Fee. Any time that you show up is appreciative. What I will hope to do is, I'd be stupid not to, is to try and spread the keys over the entirety of the stream. So maybe a giveaway after 10 minutes, a giveaway halfway through, and then a giveaway at the end. Because obviously, I want as many people coming and watching for as long as possible, like you all do anyway. So you might catch the end one. But again, I'll base it on numbers. Ultimately, I want all you guys to get free keys. My regulars that are always in the chat and give me all these awesome questions and loads to talk about. I want you to get free games. That's why I'm doing it. So anyway, Fletcher. So Anakin's Flaw, no good for us, I don't think. There's argument for it on Purist, but that's another bone of contention. Unusual Fortitude and Resistance Privilege would then be the point. Now, what are the chances that I will get to cycle 5 without missing an arrow? Fucking non-existent. Resistance Privilege would be really good and is arguably probably the better reward to take out of the two for Purist, because if you are playing that slow and that carefully, you could get to cycle 5 without taking a single hit. As soon as you are at cycle 5, that extra unholy armor has additional value, and in that it's the equivalent of taking 2 hits, whereas an additional health would only be 1 additional health, and you can't heal in Purist. Now, as far as Fletcher is concerned, I would say Unusual Fortitude. I think Unusual Fortitude, and you'll be happy about this, Fee, because I slated Unusual Fortitude, and I know when you were in your early days, you used to really like it. Now, I think, as I said to you at the time, because you wrote me an absolute tirade, which was awesome, and I think your opinion may have changed on how good these are now, and it will probably be more in line with mine, because, as I quite rightly corrected and didn't point out when I did my little tier listing, or my little list of what the amulets are good for, I didn't speculate. I was planning to, but I didn't, and you pointed it out, and I was quite right, that I was talking from the perspective of me playing it and not just, anybody else. So Unusual Fortitude, I believe, is back on the cards, and the reason being is we now have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 nuggets of health. The armor will be gone quite quickly. We get 2 pops of health from a pit. We get 2 pops of health from, or 2 chances at health, because you can get doubles still from a pit, and the same from the end bosses. That means that I would forego having the armor for the ability to take an additional health. We are going to be losing health, so I would much rather have a bigger health bar to top up than I would have an extra armor that I'm only going to get once. Now, everything that I can have just said can be taken with a complete pinch of salt if anybody has seen Titan within Fletcher. Now, I have not played Fletcher enough to have seen Titan, and I've only just now started taking... Or this is probably the first game that I thought, yeah, unusual fortune. There's a good idea. Yes, bloods are much more common than armor. You don't get armor drops on Fletcher. It's only life drops, I believe. I'll be honest, I don't think Titan is in Fletcher because it wouldn't make sense to be, if I'm honest. Now, what I should be doing, as far as Fletcher's concerned, this is how I should be playing. Even though this is cycle 1, I should be treating it like an amazingly high cycle and making use of all these things. And being proper scaredy cat, proper hiding around every corner, and letting the arrows do the work, and buying myself some time, not only with taking cover and being round corners and all that good stuff. Shrapnel Blast is a bad proposition earlier. I missed the headshot. That's what I was going for. Oh, that was a hellfire, that's why. I have not confirmed that. Maybe that's something I'll confirm in this episode. But, however, that comes from Harry. And Harry I know from the Facebook group well, and I would be happy to give that like my seal of approval, because fuck's sake, if he's saying that's the case, then I'm pretty happy that that's the case. So as you can see, it's not going so well. But yeah, I need to be playing absolutely a lot slower than I am now. What I'm doing here is I'm trying to maximize my score by executing. And the problem with that is I'm costing myself life. But it's not too bad, because we know that from the pit and from the end boss, that will be at least 4 health. That's if none of them are double pops. So in these first few cycles, we can afford... Well, we can never afford any damage. We don't want to play. Excuse me, we don't want to play like that. But we can afford some mistakes, because we know what we're getting. If this was purist, then yeah, it's even more hyperly slow. But at least with I don't know what I'm getting there. There's no shot. At least with purist, we can go ridiculously slow, and we have to, because we haven't got our old friend slow time. So I believe so. Again, I haven't played the mode enough yet, but I'm pretty sure that is the case. We'll find out in this episode. So that was what I was talking about with Camille earlier. And take the damage. That's what I was talking about with Camille earlier, is that's as good a strategy as any. Because if you can get very far with that, then that's better than dying early doors, I would say. Oh. Oh. Double headshot, look at that. 2. Divine sight, no less. Right, so now we're getting to the point where we are not in danger zone, but I mean, you know, I've only done one section, so let's calm things down because we've still got a pit to do, yeah? And there's going to be plenty of misses in there, I'm sure. But it's still not looking too bad. As you'll know, teleport arrows in this mode do nothing. Except moving closer, which is probably a bad idea. The other thing I will note as well, which some of you may not know, because I do it not often, but it does happen, is teleport arrows, although they can do bonus damage based on, I think it's remaining life left, there's actually an achievement that increases that factor. Free arrow, that is. Although they can do bonus damage, they score you nothing. Absolutely no score. Well, gold. And the cycle bonus of like 1 or 2 points. But for all intensive purposes, a teleport arrow shot to the head scores you nil point. Just in case you didn't know. Cool. 3 chances there. That was quite confident. See, points are going to be a massive. Points are going to be a massive problem. Or scoring effectively is going to be a massive problem because of arrows like Volley 5. Copious amounts of slow time. Go. Oh God, that's a nice arrow to have. Holy light, hello. Terrible arrow to have. Useful. But yeah, the other thing as well is, in this mode, I want to be going for headshots, but that's going to cost me as much life as anything else. Like, that'll still count as 1 headshot, even though it's 5 arrows worth. But yeah, worth knowing. Now, hopefully, every single one... PTSD'd out about fucking orphans these days, you know. Hopefully, every one of my bloods is going to be a double. Hello, VR Faffing, how are we doing? That's right, I'll wake you up with some garbage play, John. Don't you worry about that. Or maybe I'll be so slow. I'll put you back to sleep. Because that is the way with Cupid. With Flex's rather. Oh, past the pigs! Exhausted? Come on, man, that's throwing dice. Or pigs, but still kind of dice. Past the pigs. But I do have some... Oh yeah, I forgot about that. As long as you're careful, fire as many shots as you like at a ghost. It's the equivalent of shooting a shield. Yeah, but they're kind of like dice. I mean, you're not like trying to throw them on top. Well, I suppose you are, aren't you? There are extra points for that. Did like past the picks actually. My girls really enjoyed that. A couple of things that you might need to know. I don't know if you're the Fletcher type, Faf, but that was lucky. Oh, actually, no, it doesn't matter now. So, as far as this is concerned, DS1. There you go. I am good. Yeah, DS1, DS3, DS5, Cupid 1, and Cupid 3. It does not matter if you miss in Fletcher mode. Now, whether that's an intended change or not is up for debate. Yeah, Camille's had that. Oh, actually. Yeah, I didn't know if it was on all of them, because the guys let me know in the stream that that's what was happening. And, I thought I knew better, and I didn't. Doesn't sound like me at all. I could see why you might make the mistake of it not feeling like you were taking hits for the misses. I mean, maybe, but I mean, I wasn't complaining. It was just frustrating and very funny. I still watch that clip of the arrow just spinning left. It's brilliant. Spinning right. Yeah, there were complaints. Oh, you buggers. Left side. I haven't had that problem tonight because I haven't had to rely on my hearing yet. Oh, it doesn't matter. Hey, free pass. Because that was definitely a miss. Free pass, but not on the ghosts. So the other thing, I was going to try it out in this stream, but I'm not going to now. It's too late. Is I'm going to experiment with trying to solve my left side issue that some of you guys may be aware of, that I've got this Bluetooth headset and I say that it's putting me off. Well, no, it's not putting me off. I've just lost, I don't know, it just feels like I've lost something as far as the left side of my hearing's concerned, and I think it's quite prevalent in my gameplay as I'm getting snuck up a lot on the left, which isn't very good for getting far. So what I'm going to try and do is I'm going to, because I'm playing through the Quest sound, and I always have, because I've tried to use it as vanilla as possible. The Elite head strap is necessary, but other than that, and grip things that hold the control pads to my hands, I keep it as vanilla as possible. No, that's what I'm going to attempt. I might use some external headphones because then they can go over my earwig, and if I get the right ones, I can probably increase the volume on my left side to account for. I mean, I call it my earwig because I don't know. It sounds cool, I guess. But it's just a Bluetooth headset or one of those Bluetooth thingy bob. Yeah, so that's another possibility as well. I am aware, if I'm on. Oh, that's good. Yeah, I know you can't with like normal headphones. what I was considering doing is, I don't want to spend a lot of money on it. I don't want to go expensive. I don't think it's that big a problem. It's just like, yeah, okay, well, I took a hit from the left. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, as long as long as there's not any real issues. Yeah, as long as there's no real life. To be honest with you, even if they were, I'd carry on the stream. That's what I do. That's what I do, John. I'm here for the long haul. He says. But yeah, the ones that I have seen were a pair that I was looking into for my dad, who is actually hard of hearing, and they're like proper earbuds, like the Bluetooth ones that we're talking about, but they are meant for the hard of hearing, and they have all the technology that you would, hey, double jumps. They have all the technology in that you would expect like £300-400 set of them to have. In that they can like do noise cancelling, they can allow pass through, they can change how you hear. Like for instance, my dad's, I think he's lost his mid-range, or his mid-range is on the decline, but his high and his low is fine. So and you know, I get the impression that giving him, oh, it's only one. I thought it was two. Oh, does anyone know if that's random or not, or is it always one? I swear it used to be 2 at the boss and 2 in the pits. Pits are a fucking deadly proposition now. 1. Yeah, I'm not worried. Yes, bone conduction. Cool. Thank you, John. Sorry, John. I should be using your superhero identity and calling you VR Faffing. I hope you don't mind me letting out your real alias. We should be using our superhero name, shouldn't we? But yeah, you're quite right. Bone conduction might be the way, because then I don't have to have anything in my ear, and I can still hear you lot communicating to me in this drab monotone voice of the lady that speaks all of it out to me, and hear the game. So on pit 2 boss, is it always been that way, or was it 2 in the pit for the for Fletcher? Some work, you know? Alright, we need to be careful and clever here, because we've got Paradise Lost next. So we'll... Woohoo! Oh, he had it. He did it right. Lovely. I wish I could make, if the headset had the, and I'm sure all of you guys will be the same as well, if only this can be, no, no. Yeah. Yeah, so the thing is, the technology does exist to make it easier. So yeah, you're quite right, Dave. The technology exists for me to make my first world problem go away. I swear it was 2 in the pit. Yeah, that does. So, like, because K2 was saying about, or Kim rather, so hopefully you don't mind me using your real name, not your hero one. K2 was saying about missing pits and binning it for the abyss, which probably not a bad shout. But for me, it's like, oh, that's a lot of points. It's a lot of points missed. No worries, I know you as Kim, that's all. But yeah, the problem is solvable. So, like, I was thinking about it the other day. Yeah, pits have always been the best way to get points, especially with the fact that headshots are now not as prevalent a thing. I'm gonna wait for you guys to come in and get me. What was I saying? Oh yes. So one of the problems that I think, here come the excuses. Are you ready? One of the problems that I think I might have had with the Orphan one is that was probably one of the busiest chat things, so like double the amount of messages, which involved me listening a lot more. Now, I'm not going to say that's a problem because I've done this on myself, so this is my thing to do. That might have explained my shit Orphan performance the other day. But as I said, you know, this is a self-inflicted problem, or a self-inflicted problem, or rather, there's two self-inflicted problems. You know what? Cornering just became an absolute pain in the ass when you're trying to go for headshots. Yeah, it's a self-inflicted problem, so I'll get over it. I just figured... No, I don't. No, I do need to excuse being rubbish. Oh. Who is that? Oh, hello, JG. Why'd you have to come in? I've been playing well, say amazingly. I've been playing really well up until that point. Then two binned it into the wall on your entrance. Cheers, sir. Yeah, so as I said, it's a... I don't know. Fucking, I can't complain about being a victim of my own success. I'm trying to get used to having this in my head, and there's loads of chat. Yeah, I can't complain about that. So I will continue making excuses as to my shoddy play. Oh, just because you're joining us, JG? Divine Sight doesn't matter for this mode. Neither does Cupid's. They've changed something in the code, and even if you miss with Cupid's or Divine Sights, it doesn't count and it doesn't knock a life off of you. So, para exemplar. Okay, well, that wasn't a very good example. I tell you what, DS never usually does that on demand. Jesus. Oh yeah, those ones. It's just, so yeah, basically, Cupid's and Divine Sights just became a free pass as far as an arrow is concerned, which, you know, doesn't make the mode any easier. Jesus Christ. Well, yeah, not having to worry about those, like, binning it into something else. Because DS was definitely costing me a lot of life previously. That turn. Will I get away with Shrapnel Blast? Fucking Shrapnel Blast. Ah, well. It's only 7 health, guys. It's fine. Fine. That turn. I'm still stuck in that halfway house. I'm still stuck in that halfway house of wanting to play fast and knowing I should play slow, but wanting to start well. Oh, that was 3 headshots. That was nice. Doesn't matter. It is nice being able to fire off the DSs without them mattering. Cupids doesn't really matter. You should be hitting Cupids anyway because of the explosions. So, one thing that I did want to make sure I checked today, or rather I checked yesterday, be careful, is if you can hit those... I just said be careful. If you can hit those shots, you can cycle through your arrows on Anakin. That hit, right? Right, that's just costing me life. So, yeah, there's something not to do. Dangerous prospect at best. Definitely not advise that now. I have seen a lot of people losing a lot of life on Anakin. Not the way that I just did. Yuri's Fury is definitely an underrated arrow in this circumstance. Right, doubles. Double! No. Double! No. Oh well, live and learn. But not for much longer, probably. Yeah, Azure's Fury is actually a really nice arrow in that circumstance where you've got a lot of things around you, because unlike a lot of other arrows, Azure's may not do much damage. In fact, it is shit for damage, but it does. But it does stagger enemies, which in that situation where they're all bearing down on you is nice. It's not good, that. Just gotta be extra careful, which means extra slow. And no headshots. Right. Come back to those ones in a minute. Hoping to get a... Ooh, that helps us, possibly. Move around this area a little bit and let that go to work. Holy light. Yay. Good job you've got staff. That was... Nah, that's not how 3 arrows work, is it? Because that was definitely 6. Come on, Super Bright, sort it out. I think we've lost our curse companion. Oof, I thought we might have got a shot off then. Could have done with that curse. Oh, it'll probably go into there, won't it? Yeah. Oh, yes. Oh, there you go. That's one more towards DS5, right there. Have a quick way to water. Right then. So yeah, part of the reason why I don't want to play Fletcher this way is it's very alien to me. And I don't know. I don't think it's that entertaining. But at the end of the day, you guys will have to be the judge of that. I do find the random nature of the arrows. I can even watch my own gameplay back and be quite amused with what happens, which is absolutely awesome. So yeah, there's going to be a lot more situations I'm going to note out of because of the nature of the game. So like for instance, normally if it was vanilla arrows and it didn't worry about misses, I'd be confident on taking 2 or 3 enemies out. Now it's like if there's more than one, if I'm playing proper, I shouldn't be even entertaining it. Unless of course now it's Cupids or DS, in which case it doesn't matter. Freebies. Yeah, hit something though. I know you're a freebie, but hit something. Well. Barrage of needles. What a great arrow. Risky. Oof. Risky again. Don't teleport. Cheers. Too much. So yeah, this is how you would, or this is how I would imagine you play Fletcher properly. Is even slower paced than what I'm used to. Or even slower paced than like purist, I guess. But if you want to score well, I think it's going to be about doing this but faster. Because headshots are not the reliable commodity for score that they usually are. Welcome back, Bargain Bin. I don't know, I think that would have fucked me up more than anything else. Oh yeah, Paradise Lost is a terrible scoring position at best. But I'm a sucker for skins and points, as you all well know. I can't control myself over either, and I really should learn. But I won't. I'll continue doing stupid shit like that. That was way too low anyway. Beginning to think, I don't actually think I've bothered. I've noticed. Holy Light I definitely know is. You know what, I think Curse is a little heavier. And I think Pestilence is a little heavier as well. I thought they just travelled at normal. At normal weighting. They're definitely not heavy arrows. Oh, you can fuck off. They definitely don't feel like heavy arrows. Could do with procking that curse off on someone. What about you in here? No, I've already got you. Okay. Haha! Alright, I think I might leave that one. Sausages. Oh, that gets in. Lovely. God, it feels like a puzzle game. A lot of headshots on Cupids, I would imagine, Sean. So you think Pestilence and Curse are like even lighter arrows than vanilla? I mean, I don't know. Maybe I've been shooting Maybe I've been shooting all these random arrows for so long that I've forgotten how normal arrows feel. Go on then, have your shot. Come on! That's cheating. Might have been a bit fast to rise up then. Oh yeah, wildfire is definitely, and wildfire. I wanted to get those. Oh, good arrow. Wildfire. Yeah, to be fair, I mean, the speedrunner one I played a fair bit, obviously, because that was speedrunning. It was the same way to get kills as anything else. There was no during the actual sigils. There was what's that? But it's gonna blow her up. Come on. So yeah, Fletcher's probably the one that I've played the least. Yeah, I've always said that Paradise Lost, that's always been the case. Yeah, you're not fucking wrong. That would be fucking heinous if you did. To be fair, God, that was... Yeah, it's shots like that that would have that have cost me in the past, but I say cost me, I'm still on 3 life. Ball lightning for that, it's just not a good prospect, really, is it? Let's see if I can hit that. I think it's time to check whether that was a hit or not. Can't get up there. No, can't reach. Bugger. I tell you what, you guys are slowly but surely convincing me that this is not worth the damage taken for the points given. So... Was that not it? Oh, come on, that was it. Obviously not. There, across to there, across to there. So, you never go down here usually, but there is a nice route. Because you can hit there, to there, to there. Now, I can't help myself here in that orphan now, can I? I can't even hit that. See, I want that now. That was not the shot I went for. That'll do. Right. I want that tower that he's in. Everyone see that? I'm gonna have to remember to do that now. So that's all of a sudden become quite a useful skill. I don't know if you guys know about that or not. It's usually fucking useless. However, in this scenario, I'm gonna let that go to work for a little bit. Hopefully it'll take some Cupids out. In this scenario, it's actually quite useful. Yeah, it's worth almost as many points as the entire fucking level, John. You're not wrong. Come on now, sneaky boy. That was on my right. I've got no excuses for that one. Just chill here a second. So the reason why I'm not doing that on purpose for dramatic effect, I want to make sure her staff is out of the way so I definitely get the headshot. But then having said that, even that's a risky proposition. But at least it doesn't matter if I'd have missed that shot and hit the staff, because I wouldn't have lost any life because of it. But yeah, the old shield bash might be something that might have to come back out. Right arrow. It's not that. 3 chances. Oh, got in the first one. Right, let's go. Magnet She's below me. I've been had. Blighter. Now, what do we know about Curse of God, kids? Being all clever with my lessons. Hit something! It's not going to hit something. Oof. Well, you heard it here first. Silver-tongued Devil does no longer endorse Paradise Lost. I hate this level for Fletcher. It is ridiculous. Why? Why would you even? Right, go in the tower, get a couple of bloods, we'll be fine. Right, so all I gotta do is not miss. That's all I gotta do. Win this bite. That's a miserable amount of life. Well, yeah, but I gotta kill him without missing. Hold still, you idiot. Oof, that was unnecessary. That's good. That's good. Good. That's not going to save me. Go on, Lightning Ball. Do your thing, honey. Yes! And, right, we haven't had any 2s so far, so 2. Oh, yeah. Mama, that's 30% over doubles. Lovely. Back in the game. No. Can't do it all the time when I'm playing by myself. I always hit that. Well, I don't always, but I hit that portal a fair amount. Right. What are we like on the old battery? I would say, okay, not great, but I would say if I can see the pit, this is a circumstance where I would try and build back up. I actually no, that's I can't remember actually, John. I think the arrows go through him as opposed to hit him but do no damage. I can't remember because it's been a long time since I hit the guy. I would always put the hand of God on the floor. JG, you tickle his ass, and you're probably still in the chat. You'll know. He knows all about Gabe. JG's on that intimate level. Right. I don't think it's in this first section. Unless it's down there. Oh, right. So hang on, say that again, John. You can cycle shots on and they do hit, do they? Oh, that was unnecessary. That would have also been unnecessary. So was that. So was that. Oh no! All for an orphan. And that's what you get for not clearing out the area. Well, that's definitely put the reducer on that. Right. Oh, it could still be down the bottom there, couldn't it? Alright, I've left myself an awful lot of time here. So we better get this done sooner rather than later. Hello, JJ. I'm talking plenty about you. We were talking about the executioner table that you did not so long ago, points-wise on it. A couple of things we've come across during the stream. Thought there was more ghosts. Is Divine Sight and Cupids are no longer classed as misses ever in all their guises. Which, I don't know, at 3 life, I'm not that confident to demonstrate, if I'm honest. But yeah, so basically, all Cupid and Divine Sight shots are a gimme, basically, now. So, like, for instance, that didn't lose me any life. Neither did that. This would. Oh, come on! You idiot. Well. Such a direct arrow. I love its tenacity. Yeah, I can see why. Yeah, you need that. Yeah, it's Divine Sight and Cupid's Wrath are both gimmies now. It's that Cupid that everybody loves. Go on then, blow up. That's it. Two life. Bases are loaded. That is a pathetic score. And the points are a-calling. Well, I need to be quick, so we're going. We go in, kill it now. Still into that we could do. Then his bite has hit it. That's gone through! No! Run away! Well, what can you say? I came in the pit to bring this game back, you know. No, no, don't. Thought I missed that then. Oh yeah, yum. Oh, that's 3 in a row. There you go. Ha! Lovely. Now, Hellfire, you say? I say no. Oof, you little bastard. Be careful. As long as we keep getting those defined sights. Get on the Discord, right? Can I have to end it there in my in my traditional sense? I may have left this too late. 4%. Can he make it? You're fucking right, you can. I gotta go to the shop though. Yes. Get those out of the way. And time to go. So this isn't the way that I would normally like to end it, because I would like to do the pit and then complete the rest of the level within it so that I don't forget about it. However, there's no arguing with 3%. So, thank you all very much for tuning in once again. I'm going to jump off now before this dies. I will see you again on Wednesday. All right, cheers all. See you later.